Three. Hello, Colin. How are you?
Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Colin?
Fantastic, fantastic.
And thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity to interview
Well,
you.
thank you for inviting me. Thank you for inviting me.
So, friends, let me introduce you, our amazing guest, Colin Chapman, who has been called as the funniest, most irrelevant, and most cancelled comedy hypnotist ever. We'll ask him directly why is it so. He's based in Richmond, Virginia. Colin
Mhm.
is a comedian and hypnotist whose shows are built on one simple principle: the comedy always comes first. Hypnosis is
Mhm.
the accelerant that takes the laughs to the next level. His style is bold, unpredictable, and unapologetically funny. Colin describes it best: if crowd, work, and improv had a Tinder date with a hypnotist as the chaperone, my show is what would be born 9 months later. So we will know more about Colin's journey into hypnosis, why, and everything from his own words. So, Colin, please tell me, uh, why do you tell yourself like most cancelled, irrelevant? Please tell us more about it.
Because I am the most canceled.
Mhm,
Um, and sometimes by f fellow hypnotists.
mhm,
Um, I uh, uh, over memes.
mhm, mhm,
Um, I'm an artist.
mhm.
I'm passionate. My job is not to make sure that no one else has to think.
Okay,
My
okay.
job is to encourage people to think. I don't
Mhm.
need people to agree with me, but
Okay, okay.
but I am very much going to put my words, my vision out there.
Mm,
And so it's like the job isn't to avoid anyone ever being offended. That's not the job.
mm.
The job is to it's like when somebody brings me in to do a show, my job is to help people laugh.
Wow.
Okay. And if somebody gets a little butt hurt
Mhm,
because I um do a joke about how that my wife and I have been married now for 25 years,
mhm.
and people who know me say, you of all people managed to say married for 25 years here in the US. More than half of all marriages end in divorce. How did you manage to pull that off? It's like, oh, it's real simple. Before I got married, when I was single, I had a really simple dating strategy. I only went out with women who showed real signs of serious mental health challenges. What's the secret to us being married for 25 years? She is absolutely nuts. She's
Okay,
crazy. That's it. Now, that cost me a 3 show deal.
okay.
Okay. Um, in part because, oh, the board met and we cannot believe that you were so disrespectful to your own wife like that. It's like, listen, oh, and then they said, would you like to make a public apology for doing that joke? And it's like, well, so let me get this right. You're asking if I would like to publicly apologize for doing the joke that is my wife's favorite joke. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am publicly going to tell that joke even harder now.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I'm going to do. Um, because at the end of the day, and this is what people who call themselves stage hypnotists
Mhm.
don't get.
Mhm.
Our job is not to hypnotize.
Mhm.
Okay. As a comedy hypnotist, my job is to entertain.
Mhm.
It's to go, it's if somebody goes out and so a lot of the shows we do are paid for by corporations, paid for
Mhm.
by high schools, universities, military units,
Mhm.
but there are also shows that people actually buy tickets for
Mhm.
to come see. And here in the US, if somebody is and their romantic partner are going to go out and see a show, between tickets, dinner at the club, drinks, they're probably spending $150 US for that.
Mhm.
They are not going to hear a lecture. They are not going for a long, boring free talk.
Mhm.
Anyone who says the most important part of a hypnosis show is the pre-talk sucks. They aren't entertaining because guess what? Free talks are boring. That couple is not going out to hear a boring discussion on hypnosis. Look, you and I can geek out and talk about hypnosis for hours on end, and you and I would be thoroughly entertained. That's because we're kind of messed up, aren't we?
Mhm.
Okay. Most people, it's like they show up, they've got a TikTok attention span.
Mhm. I
I
like
need
that
to
one.
get them.
TikTok attention span.
I need to. It's like and there are a lot of things that go on in people's lives. There are a bunch of people obsessed with what's going on in the news and in
Mhm.
government and politics and wars, all things they can do absolutely nothing about. But you know what? When they go out with somebody they care about and they put their hard earned money to make that happen, they want to be entertained. And I'm going to make sure that I do everything in my power to help them laugh.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
That's what I want to do. That's why I don't do routines that were first done when JFK was still president.
Mhm.
Okay. First off, if it's like nobody's doing cover songs of Frank Sinatra today. The things that are blowing up on Spotify in music are original. In comedy, nobody's going to go back and do a joke, some lame dad joke that was first done in vaudeville. I'm writing my own stuff every single day.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
creating, and it's like, and every comedian is writing stuff every single day. Why is it that these people who call themselves stage hypnotists think that they are so good that they don't need to create any new material and that they can rely on the so-called Bible, uh, Orman McGill's Encyclopedia of Stage Hypnotism, as their guide? Well, the fact is they can't, and stage hypnotism is dead.
Oh,
it,
tell me
it,
more.
it's like
What
so
makes you
so
say that, Colin?
what makes me say that is that I am passionate about hypnosis. I'm passionate about comedy, and there are fewer and fewer shows being booked, and there should be, because the stage hypnotism industry made the decision that we can recycle the same stuff from, all based on a book
Mm.
that was written, that was published in 1947 when Harry Truman was president. So that means it was probably written when Hitler was still alive. Okay. It's
Okay.
out of date. Oh, only
Hmm.
that, but the esteemed Orman McGill, he wasn't passionate about this. He
Hmm.
tapped out. I was out of high school when he stopped doing shows regularly and he moved more to the clinical side, which is a perfectly fine choice.
Hmm.
Don't sit here and tell me that he cared about entertaining. Not only that, his show was designed not to be entertaining. It was designed to be educational. And
Okay.
that's the place where I distinctively am ready to throw hands verbally with the ghost of Orman McGill.
Hmm.
Because what we're doing, it's not supposed to be educational. It's supposed to be entertaining.
Hmm.
Um, Most common performing hypnosis shows that get done are high school post prom, post grad shows. Those are celebration events.
Hmm.
People are there to have a good time. These kids are already getting bored to death by their underpaid teachers. Okay. I need to go in there and it's like I love doing those shows. They
Hmm.
happen. It's like I had shows that were booked this year between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. as far as a show start time. They're lock-in shows. They're designed to keep the kids safe. Um,
Okay.
uh, Parents tend and local companies tend to provide a lot of financial support because they want three things out of these shows. They want to do these lock-ins. So on prom night, graduation night, none of the students subtract from the population, go viral for some really embarrassing reason, or more importantly, that these students don't add to the population, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. And so that's why they're there. Is let's keep these kids safe. And it's like, and it's a event where they've got so much energy. It's like, how dare I walk in there? Hi, I'm Colin and I'm a hypnotist. Hypnotism is a conversation between me and the subconscious mind. That's all it is a conversation. Now, who would like to come up here and join me in one of these chairs? Okay. It's like, no, I got a pre recorded intro with a hype man that's custom for every single event that I do. Um, um, it's got music. I'm open up with stand up comedy. It's and I use that stand-up comedy to break down for people a little bit about what hypnosis really is instead of what Hollywood has hypnotized people to think it is. Okay. And then I get my volunteers up on stage. I tell people the four reasons why it is they want to volunteer in one of my shows because it's what they want to do that I'm connecting with.
Hmm.
And I know that those four things are going to pretty much hit everybody. And some of them might still. It's like because here's the reality that a lot of us who are who do hypnosis professionally and who do consume hypnosis services don't seem to understand. In the United States, anyway, more than half the population has a negative view of hypnosis.
Yes. Yeah. Even now.
Um, Absolutely now. Because guess what? Professional hypnotists on both the clinical side and on the entertainment side have done a horrible job of promoting what it is that we do, making it demystified and making it attractive. Our marketing is awful. And so there is a very large percentage of the population who think that what we do is mind control. And part of what I got to do is break down, hey, it's actually the ultimate in self-control. I have a lot of respect for Justin Trance. He is absolutely an entertainer. Have you seen any of his show videos online?
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
He's an would you agree? He is an entertainer.
Yeah.
Okay. He comes in and he is all energy. I do what I can to mirror that energy. Now, one of the things that Justin and I see things differently on is he thinks that you want to claim that control. You want to claim that it is mind control. It's like, no, I don't need that. Okay. I actually think it's more powerful when I say when I do something that, whether it's helping somebody overcome their difficulties with sleep, or whether I am doing a routine in my show and my volunteers are hearing fart sound effects, and half of them are instantly know that they just did that, and the other half think that the person right next to them did it, and it is absolutely foul smelling, and they're going back and forth against each other. Okay, because there is comedy in the conflict. And if the little tiny cheerleader is giggling because she thinks that she just ripped a big one, and the big center from the high school football team is covering his face and saying, "Oh my God, that smells like death." Okay, true story.
Okay.
When that happens, it's because I built rapport. I took them on a journey, much like watching a movie that they wanted to go on. And they wanted to have this experience. What hypnosis is about helping people get what they want. And we're just doing it without all the resources of Pixar studios like what Hollywood has. And we can do it a lot more often and have a lot more fun doing it than what Hollywood does.
Thank you. And tell me, what inspired you to get into this comedy hypnosis, Colin?
So in I started doing hypnosis on the clinical side in 2011. And I focus on sleep, stress, smoking, pain, and performance. That's what I was focusing on. In 2019, in April of that year, a drunk driver blew through a red light, hit my car, and totally destroyed my car. I was very, very close. It was a super bad accident. It was a high rate of speed. It would have taken just a fraction of a second, just a couple inches, and I'm not even on this planet anymore to have this conversation with you.
Oh my
As
God.
it stands, I ended up with a traumatic brain injury,
Oh,
um, and PTSD. I was told that my mental capacity was down to 35%,
oh, okay.
which what that meant is the only job I was qualified for then was to serve as president of the United States.
Hmm.
By the way, that joke for my American friends is forever is about whoever you did not vote for. Okay, just to get that out there. Okay, okay, it's a
Yeah.
Rorschach test. All right, you can make that one about who you didn't vote for. Um, they told me I was looking at up to 10 years to recover from the brain injury, and I
Mhm.
was pretty much stuck forever with the PTSD. That didn't work for me, and I fired my doctor. I have an incredible wife. She helped me put together a brand new medical team. I um I am not going to sit here and say hypnosis cured me. Um because I know that hypnotists who say they are curing people are lying to people. We don't have that. It's like you learned a way to talk with people and to listen to people. Nobody made you God. So curing people, healing people is outside of your scope of practice. Okay. It might make you feel good to say, I'm a healer, I'm a curer, I cured this person of this. No, you didn't. You just help people do the work to get there. But here's the thing, knowing that I had literally lost my mind,
Mm.
I didn't want to keep going. Because I was looking at myself and I was like, I don't serve any purpose anymore.
Oh
I didn't
my.
even want to get out of bed in the morning.
Mm.
Did hypnosis cure me? No. But one of the things that my clients had taught me since 2011 is how much it matters to stay in the fight. I knew that the clients I had who had success were the ones who showed up and did all their homework. So I started using hypnosis just to get out of bed.
Mm.
And then after I started getting out of bed, I started getting up and doing one thing. Then I started doing a few things. Then I made sure for all these medical appointments that I had, that I not only showed up for them, I showed up for them on time. And I
Mm.
made every single one of my appointments on time.
Mm.
When they gave me homework, I made sure I took it. I didn't say anything to my physical therapist, speech therapist, neurologist. I doubled the homework that they gave me. Didn't bother to tell them,
Mm.
but I wasn't going to live with this thing for 5 to 10 years. I wasn't going to be stuck forever with PTSD. I was going to do all the work. So, did hypnosis cure me? No, it kept me alive. It
Well,
it let me stay in the fight, and and I had taken things like understanding, hey, I don't have to get 100% better in one day. I can get 1 or 2% better. If I could just get 1% better in a day, the way interest compounds, in a month, I've pretty much doubled it now, haven't I?
yes.
Okay. And I understood that because my clients had taught me that. And so that's where hypnosis came through. But one of the things that I also came out of that, and I ended up with it in spite of that 10-year sentence I had been given, I ended up uh with a clean bill of health in 6 months, which blew everybody away, in, including me. Because I was just focused, I was grinding. It was like, come on, let's keep going. It's like, dude, you're good. Um, one of the things that I did is I had a lot of things I had been talking about doing and hadn't done. One of the things that I had been talking about and not doing prior to that was performing hypnosis. Because I've been passionate about comedy for a long time, and I've been doing the hypnosis thing, and it's like, hey, I think I could do this, but I hadn't done anything with it. And one of my commitments, one of the lessons that I came out of this accident with, and by the way, have nothing but gratitude for that drunk driver today. She made, it's like without her, it's like I'm not as happy as I am today. One of the things I decided was everything I've been talking about and not doing, I have a choice. I can either shut up about it or I can do it. But I can't keep talking about it and not do it. And this was the one that I knew that I was going to have to actually really do. And so I got with Michael C. Anthony, did his full program. And I think he is an absolutely incredible trainer. His program is super professionally done. Went through it just in time for the pandemic to hit and for us to not be able to do any live entertainment.
Mm.
However, and I kept working on my show while there was nothing going on. I kept working it because I knew I had to do this. And I started doing shows, and now I've done 206 shows.
So tell me about your first show. How was your experience?
So my first show happened here in Virginia at a time when live entertainment was against the law. It was an illegal show. Now, I don't know how things work where you are, but here in the United States, not on duty unless they want to get fired, but police officers here enjoy a drink or two or 10. Okay. Our police officers enjoy drinking. Okay. That's just a simple fact. Okay. You would have a hard time finding an American police officer who would deny that, hey, yeah, a lot of our officers really enjoy drinking. Okay. It's a high stress job. Not saying it's the best choice for them to make, but it's a choice that a number of them make. I knew this, and I booked for this show the police lodge where officers tend to go after work and enjoy their drink. Because I knew that the police weren't going to bust their own clubhouse and lose their liquor license. So I was able to pull off the show. I will tell you my first show. Okay. Here's some more real talk. Many professional hypnotists who work on the entertainment side will insist they've never had a bad show. Every show of mine has gone absolutely fantastic. I have yet to do a perfect show. I don't expect to do a perfect show ever. What I do is my shows keep getting better every time.
Yeah.
My first show was a train wreck.
Train
It was the
wreck.
first time I did it. Okay. But you know what? People had a good time. They laughed. Uh, there was one moment that I'll never forget because it caught me out of left field. I do this one routine. It's an homage to my favorite person who I think is the greatest comedy hypnotist of all time, the late Jay Medicine Hat. And he does this routine. He did this routine that was a spelling bee. And
Mm.
I did this as an homage to him, giving him credit for it. Okay. Not seeing it's like, hey, I want to honor this guy who I respect more than anybody else who's ever done this before. Okay. And in the spelling bee, the way he did it, the way I did it in this case was the volunteers are given the suggestion that whatever I give you, you will word correctly by spelling the dirtiest, nastiest, filthiest, naughtiest word that pops into your mind. Okay. And so I've got this one young lady, and I go, your word is harpoon, harpoon. And she looks at me and she goes, P-E-N-I. And I'm sitting there. That is absolutely fantastic. You got it right. Now, please use the word you just spelled in a sentence. She looks at me like this and says, your penis is beautiful.
Mm.
I about died of a heart attack on the spot because I did not see this coming.
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
And it brought the house down. In spite of everything I did in my inexperience that really sucked. That's all anybody remembered was how hard they laughed in that moment.
Yeah.
I've got some friends who I showed the video for the whole thing to afterwards, and they still remind me, your first show, you sucked. But that's what friends are for. And it's like, I'm glad it sucked. Because guess what? The next one got way better.
Mm.
The next one after that got way better. Another really, really powerful piece of training that I got to the opportunity to do is the Misty and Sandman boot camp with Lisa Kunacek and Alan Sands. And that's where they are booked at a county fair and they bring performing hypnotists in, and each hypnotist gets to do one show a day. I
Okay.
did that. I did that program in 2021, and
Mhm.
then I just went through it again in about 3 weeks ago in Oregon at the Deschutes County Fair. And so Lisa and Alan, and I did that in large part because it was an opportunity, my first and what's probably gonna be my only opportunity for my mom to see me do my show. And I'm really truly blessed that she got to come out and see me do my show. Um, she was recently diagnosed with early stage Alzheimer's, and
Oh,
there's some real hope for her. Okay. There's some things that are being done where there's real scientific hope. And it came from none of the hypnotists who promised that they would be able to cure my mom for me. Um, just gonna put that one out there. Her hope is coming from a real neuroscientist and neurologist who has actual clinical trials with tremendous results that are very successful. Um, what her outcome is, I don't know what it's going to be, but there's hope right now, which most people who get that diagnosis have all their hope taken away from them by the medical profession. And I think that's sad. But I got the chance, but I knew, look, I'm not going to have much of a chance. But when that opportunity to go back to do boot camp again, and my mom got to see the show, my show, it's like, yeah, I'm in. It wasn't comfortable, but I made it happen. And so it was really cool for Lisa and Alan to be able to see me in 2021 and then see me a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And they got to see what the evolution was in that time.
Wow.
And so it's like, so yeah, it's like it's all about growth in life, isn't it?
Yes.
It's like it's yeah, so
Was there in 200 plus shows that you did, Colin, ever felt that why did I choose this path? Because of any challenge that you faced in the show?
um I think I understand the question that you're asking. Okay. Let me make sure. So you're asking because of challenges in the show, why that had me questioning my life choices about why this particular venue.
Yeah. Why
Okay.
did I get into this comedy hypnosis or anything like,
Oh, I can tell you exactly why I got into the comedy hypnosis, and I can tell you about the challenge. It's like uh the reason why is that I understand none of us are guaranteed to see the sun come up tomorrow,
Mhm.
and not enough of us are laughing.
Mhm.
And so and so I only got up about an hour and a half ago. And as soon as my feet hit the floor, I asked myself the same question I ask myself every day when my feet hit the floor. What am I going to do to help somebody laugh today?
Wow. Wow.
Okay. Because it's like there's somebody out here who ain't going to see the sun come up tomorrow. And so maybe I get to give one of those people a laugh. Maybe somebody who I can help laugh is going to get some really bad news later that day.
Mm.
Okay. Um, the laugh I help them find isn't going to make things all better. But you know what? It might give them just a little bit more strength to keep on going. And so yeah, that's why. As far as challenging show environments, is a charity show for a high school lock-in event to help kids with cancer. Once again, middle of the night show. I get there 1 a.m. start time. They said, okay, you're on the big, I get there, you're on the big stage. We have this 90s cover band that's really good, that's going to be on stage from 11 to midnight. Then they'll tear down and you'll have an hour to do your setup. And then your show will run from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. It's like fantastic. Is it? Look, this 90s cover band, they're really good. Um, the lead singer is a graduate here. It's like, you should come check them out. It's like, okay. So it's like, I was there really early. And so I was just kind of wandering around and I stroll in there about 10 minutes after the show started. So I walk in to the big auditorium and there's like, and they're like, we're 350 kids at this event. Okay. This room should have been packed. I walk in there and no chaperones. There's like 4 or 5 kids kind of standing off to the side. And the 90s cover band was not as advertised a 90s cover band. The
Okay.
90s cover band was, in fact, a death metal band.
Oops.
And death metal band managed to walk almost all the students and all the chaperones, which the fact that the chaperones bounced that was the part that blew my mind the most. And I noticed that the bass player in the back is stomping around and all angry. It's like, well, okay, he's a bass player. He's with a death metal band. It's like, okay, yeah, I get it. Didn't think about it. They wrap their set. I go in one at 12 a.m., start doing my setup and try and connect everything and can't get power to all the electronic stuff I need to do. And we're trying to connect it. And their sound guys can't figure out. And I look over and it's like, I see what the bass player was doing. He was stomping on these electrical outlets they had on the stage and he broke them. And so their sound guy and I messed around with it, high pressure timing, because like we only got so much time to get everything set up, do our sound checks, be ready to go. When we finally futzed with it, we kind of jury rigged it a little bit. It's like, okay, well, this works. We ran through sound checks. All right. Literally 3 minutes before uh, at I'm supposed to go on stage, I hear this snap, crackle, pop, and smoke come out of my mixer board. And the lights go out. And I realize that my handheld mic is no longer going to work. My connections for my sound effects are no longer going to work. Even though I have a backup mixer board, I don't have the time because this was a show that had to be started right at 1 a.m. Okay, hard start, hard stop situation. I ended up having to go on there without those things and having to basically use one of their handheld wireless mics and play my sound cues through my phone into the mic, which, you know what? It worked. And I just pretended like it was the most normal thing in the world. And everybody had a good time. But I'm always making sure it's not a death metal band that's opening for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I'm death on the death metal band.
Thank you for sharing. And Colin, what was the best compliment that you have received that you remember after this show? Someone walks out to you and shares.
My husband and I haven't laughed that hard together in years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. 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 That, yeah. It's like, I'm up there making, fart jokes and, having people um uh think their name is Banjo and call their mom on the phone while they're on stage and tell them that, mom, my name is, I've got a new name now, you're gonna call me Banjo from now on. Okay. And crowd's losing it. Mom is texting and trying to get the woman's husband on the phone and everything. I'm doing the silly stuff. And to know that this couple hadn't been laughing that much and I helped them by doing my silly stuff that I'm passionate about doing, help them connect a little bit better. Yeah. That meant a lot. Yeah.
So, and Colin, who wish to perceive comedy hypnosis as their career or who are already into it, what is your suggestion where you come up with this strong statement that stage hypnosis is dead and you need to be fresh You need to come up with your own stuff every day. So what's your advice, Colin?
Um, so so I'm just going to tell you what I do. Uh,
Mm,
one is I think my job involves making sure that every single show, somebody's, even if somebody had seen a bunch of hypnosis shows before, even if somebody had seen my show before,
mm.
that they're going to see something they've never seen before.
Wow.
Okay. Um, One of the things as hypnotists that we should actually understand is the crippling power of limiting beliefs.
Mm,
The idea that I have to go to a book that was published in 1947 and that's all the further I can go, that sounds like a pretty crippling, limiting belief. My mind is a sick and twisted and terrible thing to waste. So it's coming up with stupid ideas nonstop. If you don't believe me, check with my wife. Say, "Oh God, would you please get him to shut up?" Um, it's like, yeah, it's like I see, all kinds of things, and I'm gonna. If it doesn't meet the laugh test, I'm like, okay, how can I work this into my show?
mm.
um you know and it's like there's nothing to stop me from doing that. um Creativity is wonderful. Creativity is powerful. So that's the first thing, is just like show people something they've never seen before. um I'm a huge fan of studying the art and science of comedy.
Mhm.
And I'm happy to share with anybody the fastest ways to do that, um, the most effective ways to do that. I've, I'm all about helping my colleagues learn from my mistakes.
Mhm.
Um, and look, anytime, you know, all of us have purchased things that we kind of wish we had. I've done a lot of those, including on hypnosis training. I'm happy to let people know, hey, this is what you're going to get here. I feel very strongly that this person overpromised and underdelivered. This
Mhm.
person over here underpromised and overdelivered. This book here, been this book, it's like this is the book that has had the impact on me on this. This is the book that's had the impact on me on that. And yeah, so
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Colin. It was wonderful conversation. Like how you could have like how this popular fork on the road metaphor, like
mhm.
which you want to take, and you have taken a completely a traumatic event in your life turned into a comedy hypnotist, and instead of feeling sad or complaining or blaming, here
Mhm.
you are living example of making people laugh. Wow,
And
that's
I
a very
have gratitude. I have gratitude. And it's like, because it's like I don't have the luxury of being angry and bitter about that experience. Okay. That experience was, it was one of the worst days ever. It was one of the worst times ever. It's like when you're looking your wife and your son in the eyes and you can tell that they are horrified by just looking at you. Okay. That one doesn't go away. Okay. I don't forget that one. I don't have the luxury of being stuck with that. But what can I do? I can say, hey, I'm going to be grateful to this drunk driver. I'll make something good come out of it. Yeah. And so, by the way, one of the interesting things, my most viral video and that I've done, uh, I think it's 57% of my viewers from here in the United States, which is to be understandable. There's a few in Canada, few in the UK. There's 35% in India.
Wow. Wow.
And so it's like I don't know how exactly it would ever happen. And it's not at the very top of my priority list today. I will say this, show in India would be pretty badass. Because I know there are a bunch of people in India who are way more open minded about hypnosis than a lot of Americans are. And so if it happens,
So be it.
yep.
So be it. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time, Colin. It was personally, it was very inspiring me. How one could make something traumatic into a beautiful journey where you told that you are thankful, you are grateful to that lady who was the reason behind accident, and your very touching statement, hypnosis might not have cured me but it kept me alive.
Mm-hmm.
So with that as an inspiration, I thank you once again and thanks for your time. Thank you very
Well,
much.
well, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Colin.